blamed for the housing crisis.
Thanks, Vincent. I was going to say we'll have a second day, but I think we won't do that now. We'll make sure we finish it up today. But just to add a couple of words to what Jim has said there. First of all, look, the main reason we're here is because myself and Jim never got an opportunity to actually have 5 minutes straight able to talk when Vincent was in the room without being interrupted. So the main reason was we get a chance to give a speech that he couldn't stop us for a couple of minutes, or ask too many hard questions. But look, I suppose, again, just to thank you all for coming here today. I mean, the reason you're here is because most of you guys and all of you are involved in some way already when it comes to providing accommodation for older people, or looking at the whole movement of people moving through the different generations, different ages, and the necessity to provide services to keep people in their home and their communities as well. It's very clear to us, and myself and Jim have been working on our departments, and along with some of you guys around the table over the last few months, putting together a new policy framework as we try to address how we're going to plan for the future here, and how we're going to be able to maximise our spend here, but also have a lot more approaches that you've been involved in already. We've been lucky enough over the last year or two in our portfolios to visit a lot of the work you're involved in. I've seen some great examples of some great projects where very cleverly you provided accommodation for people of older years. Very often it's going back into a town centre and using an existing building, again, where my urban renewal hat, it's great to see it as well, utilising those buildings, bring them back into use. But we're very conscious that there's a need for a lot more of this. And while every town or village or every county has one or two great projects, they're not everywhere. And we need to have the opportunity that there are these great projects in every town and village. And that won't happen if we don't plan it and if we don't actually make it happen. And to do that, we have to engage with ourselves as a sector to see who's got the best ideas, who is the best project, how can we learn from each other, and how can we make sure that when we're moving forward, we have the best project and we have the best example, and that we can roll it out and make it easy. Because from talking to yourselves on the different days we went to your own premises, there's a long journey in nearly every project you were involved in, and in some cases far too long. And it's red tape when you're moving from my department to Jim's department to the next department and round in circles, and wasting time. And very often, some of these great projects have taken 7 or 8 years to bring to delivery. So what we're trying to do here is change the way we work together as a department. My own department, Department of Housing, Planning and Local Government, Jim's department, Department of Health, and the other departments as well. But mainly our two, because we're probably the two main funders when it comes to this as well. My own point of view is from housing delivery and accommodation. From Jim's point of view, then, it's wrapping around all those services, keeping people out of nursing homes because there's thousands in there far too early. And again, it's reflecting the needs of people. Anybody we engage with in this sector, you're doing it on a daily basis. We come across it through different conferences and so on. The message to us is about choice, giving people the option to stay in their own home or a new home which is in their community. And also that when we are building houses today, that we build them in a way that they can be adapted into the future, lifelong developments as we go through that as well. So again, it's just to really, as best we possibly can, it's something to reach scale in what you're already doing and to maximise those projects and to have a lot more of them as well. Other countries that took the decision to go ahead and kind of zone certain areas of land and to set aside so much public land for these projects, that's something we might end up doing. That's a conversation we have to have. But the idea is, between now and possibly in February, that we bring this we finalise a document in this as well. We've been working on it. You've been engaged somewhat in different ways. So I'd ask you today, we have a number of speakers setting out different ideas, different examples, and then after that, then we'll be a session then to engage with yourselves through Q&A and so on and listen to your different ideas. But I would ask you maybe we would do written submissions then if you go into us. Between now and Christmas, if possible, over the month of December, and then we'll use January to go through all your suggestions, all your submissions, and to pick out of that all the different actions we need to do. And the plan will be to come together again, if Vincent behaves himself long enough, and maybe at the end of January, early February, that we will come together again to finalise a document. And before that would happen, we'd send around a draft document, and in that then we'd just meet for one day to make any changes, any suggested changes as well. And we want to be in a position to roll out a kind of a new, for the want of a better word, an action plan in this area come March. One that will use the money we have already in our different departments and spend it differently and focus it, but also make it, again, have that roadmap to deliver new projects as well. And then it's also to have a business case to go and win the extra money we need to be spent in this area over the years ahead as well. But there's no reason why we can't do it. The majority of the money we need is already there. It's just been spent in a different way, and it can be very hard to get your hands on it. And it's your own money back at you, and we're trying to make it easier that we can do it as well. So that's just a quick summary. Thanks for your time, thanks for your involvement as well. Thanks to everybody who's helped organise this event today as well, and hopefully we get a chance to engage plenty in the hours ahead. Thanks, Vincent.